cooking segment is brought to you by Miss Roadypie Esquire. Do you know why? Because she brought me this fantastic cooking apron. I'm going to be using this for just about all of my cooking shows from now on, and I think it's great. Now, the uses of a cooking apron vary a lot. Cooking aprons can be used not only for keeping food off of your manly chest, but also for hiding the elusive cooking erection, which is just all too common. So give yourself a little bit of a tie-up back here. There we go. Now, the common reasons for the cooking erection is normally the poolside barbecue. Those days when you have all the Gotham babes frolicking around in their bikinis in your pool as you stand in front of your barbecue and they're playing with their pool noodles and their beach balls, and Harley Quinn's on the diving board, and Batgirl's in there somewhere. Catwoman, who knows what she's doing, but I'm sure she's staying dry. And let's not forget, there's also Poison Ivy. We don't know where she would be, but she'd be there as well. Now, this gives me a thought. If there are any artists out there, I would just love for someone to draw this type of scenario. Maybe have the Penguin and the Joker, peering in over a fence, and the Riddler could be there too, and they're longing to be joining me for this barbecue session with all my poolside ladies. Now, if you are to draw something like this, and you were to write Cooking with Batman on it, I can use that as my front runner at the beginning of every single episode from now on. And in exchange, you would also receive some of Cosplay Carrie's videos. That's a legit offer, by the way. So, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Batman. Today, we are going to be making the chili. Now, this is my chili. Your chili may vary slightly. I don't put any vegetables in mine, and I also try not to keep it too spicy. The reason we don't spice it up too much is so that people can add their own spice at their own discretion. Remember, when you're cooking for others and not for yourself. So let's start off by washing our hands. A little bit of soap. There we go. Make sure to get between those fingers. Let one hand wash the other. Oh, the apron's doing its job right now and you don't even know it. No food on me. So, let's go ahead and the first thing we're going to add is about 1 kilogram of ground beef. It's extra lean style. We do extra lean because that's what the majority of people like. If this were for me, it would be regular ground beef. Now, once you put in your ground beef, you're going to want to add in your crushed spices. Don't put in your bay leaves yet. Your spices are going to be used for drying out your meat a little bit so that it stays in shreds. You want your meat to be shredded up. The first thing I'm putting in is onion powder. Like I said, I don't like big chunky veg in there, so we just put in a little bit. Not too much. Remember, that is considered a little bit because this is such a large quantity of food. Next item, we're going to put in some paprika. We're just going to go, there we go. Just a little bit of paprika, not too much. Next up is our chili powder. And we're going to just put a bunch of that in there too. Now, keep in mind that while you're cooking your chili, you can always add more spices. Taste. Taste often, taste a lot. This is going to be cooking all night. It's actually tomorrow's lunch or dinner. Next, we're going to put in some basil. Lots of the green stuff. And we're going to put in some oregano. It's nice to put in approximately the same amount of oregano as you put in basil. That's my ratio, my magic ratio. Always match your basil and oregano. We're going to put in some parsley. I like the parsley because of the color. Yes, lots of coloration. Now, like I said, we have bay leaves here, but they're going to go in at the end, okay? Right before everything is done, we're going to put in the bay leaves because we don't want to crush them. So, we're going to start dicing up this ground beef. And this crushing of the ground beef is to prevent big chunks. Some people like big chunks in their chili. I personally prefer to have a smooth consistency. Something that can be scooped up with a spoon or a fork without it falling off and overflowing. Oh, yeah. Let's chop all this up. unless you're the kind of person that likes to smell and reminisce. So when you're wearing your aprons, you can wash it afterwards instead of washing your clothes, or you can keep it and you can smell back at all the happy times that you had when you were cooking. There we go. That's about good. The next item that we're going to be adding to this is diced tomatoes. You can get your own. You can get them in a can without any spicing at all. You can get your herbs, you can get your garlic, whatever you want. I prefer to just get the plain old diced tomatoes and do my own spicing. So add that in there. And we're going to add in another can. There we go. Now, in order to not waste anything in the can, we're just going to add a little bit of water to this. And we're going to swirl it around inside the can. Pour it over to the other can. Perform the swirling action once again. And pour it in. Now, these are diced tomatoes, so we don't care if we crush these either. In fact, we want to kind of mix it so it gets between the meat. Now, the spices and the tomatoes are going to keep the meat from cooking itself back together into a big old lump. So you're going to want to do another stirring after adding this. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Everything's turning out great. Now, you may be tempted to eat your chili now. Don't do it. It's not ready. It's not ready for eating. Okay. Next, you can add your bay leaves because there's not going to be a lot of crushing maneuvers anymore. So, these are bay leaves, whole bay leaves, and these are fun surprises. I like to put lots of them in there because I want every bowl to have a bay leaf. Because every bowl that has a bay leaf is a bowl that's lots of fun. There we go. And next, we're going to be adding our beans. Because it's boring to watch somebody wash beans, I'm going to tell you what I have in here. I have a can of red kidney beans, I have a can of chickpeas, and I have a can of bean medley. Medley is just a fun way of saying variety! So we're going to add in those 3 cans of beans. And there we go. We're just going to smooth it over the top. There we go. There is no mixing yet. If you mix now, you're going to shatter your bay leaves, and then people are going to be eating little bits of bay leaf instead of, just pulling out a whole leaf from their mouth. So, for now, this is it. We're going to put this into a crock pot, and we're going to leave it there all night on low heat. You can put it on a high heat in the last couple of hours. You're going to want to taste often, okay? You're going to want to mix and taste and mix and taste. And if you need to add any more of these spices at all, you do it. You do it at least 2 hours before serving. If you taste it and you realize that there's a problem with your chili and you're just about to serve it, well, guess what? You're either going to have to suck it up and serve it as is, or you're going to have to delay the serving for a couple of hours to make sure that the spice is properly softened and go-burnt. Nobody wants to bite into a chunk of just, oh, why does it taste like oregano and only oregano? No, no, no. You want the oregano flavor to mix throughout everything. So, I'm going to see you guys again when this is done, and I'll show you how to make your sides. Welcome back. It's been about 15 hours and my chili is still cooking. Chili does take a very long time to burn. If you have a lot of moisture escaping from your crock pot, then yours will burn a little more quickly. You can always add a little water. Your chili typically will take about 18 plus hours to actually burn as long as you're cooking it on low heat. So, while this is just finishing up, and you can always tell by checking the chickpeas. If the chickpeas are soft, they're your timer. Here's our side. We are going to be using Pillsbury Original Crescents. Don't go with the low fat ones. You're going to be fattening them up anyways. So, you go ahead and you just open this right up. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Yep, and you just roll that right out like this. And you should already have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. We're going to be following the recipe in every way except for one. This is the secret part that they don't want you to know. But I'm going to tell you. We're going to take a little bit of butter. For every single one of these, we're just going to make a little pocket right in the middle like this. Just like that. And then, when you roll it up, nice and loose, a really loose roll. They each have just an extra amount of flavor sitting right in the very middle. And if you plan it right, chili can be a pretty big event. Whenever you're having chili, you should be planning in advance. When beans go on sale, grab them. When your diced tomatoes go on sale, grab them. None of these things go bad. Same thing with your Pillsbury. As soon as these crescent rolls go on sale, grab them up. Typically, I've been sticking with chicken lately. I stick with chicken because it's cheap. But every now and then, that ground beef goes on sale to just the right level, and off you go. Now these are an ideal side for your chili. They make it last a little bit longer. Another side that you could use if you're not having any guests over who are going to call you a pig, you could just use it as spaghetti sauce. I enjoy this spaghetti sauce chili. It's very good. You can make chili dogs with it, all kinds of other things. It should be noted that my chili specifically, I ended up adding more basil. I added more oregano. The bay leaves were fine. I added actually quite a lot more chili powder. Chili powder was a significant increase. So just finish rolling these last couple of crescents. And we're going to stick them in the oven. These are going to take maybe 7 or 8 minutes. Or maybe if you like them extra crispy, they can take 8 to 9 minutes. All depends on your oven and your preferences. So, there we go. These are now ready to go into the oven. I'll see you in 7 or 8 minutes for the plating. Ah, perfect. They're done. Move the croissants. The perfect side, I have to say. So, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to scoop up one of our buttery little croissants. Put it on the plate right there. We're going to scoop up another little buttery croissant. We're going to put it on the plate right there. It's good stuff. I should also make a note that when you are serving, try to make sure that you get some bay leaves into your guest's dish. It lets them know that you properly spice things up. So there's a bay leaf. And let's see. Oh, there's a bay leaf as well. There we go. That is the perfect amount of bay leaf sticking straight out the top. So this is your guest plate, okay? If they want to spice it some more, they can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. So we just go ahead, we take this, we put it aside. It's going to have to cool for a little bit anyways. That's why we're serving the guest first and not ourselves. Next, we have our own. So for our own, we have a slightly bigger bowl. We don't care what we put in here. There we go. Put your slop in the bowl. You go ahead and you grab your croissant, throw it right there. Grab another croissant, throw it right there. Bam! Dinner is served! And tomorrow's lunch, and possibly some sort of a sloppy joe sandwich in the future as well. Bon appetit!